Okay, so in this problem, let's see, we have a used book sale. 116 books are adult books. Okay, so let's make that yellow. 116 adult, and of those adult books, 84 are nonfiction. Then we've got 145 children books, and of those children books, 45 are nonfiction. Okay, and if one book is, and here's the key, if a book is selected at random, so we're just looking at one single event, not a sequence of multiple events, so we're not using the multiplication rule. This is the probability of one or more things happening at once. This is where we use the addition rule, or the rule for or. So over here on the right, again, this is not necessary for this type of problem, but I think it's convenient to sort of organize all the information that you have. So of those, let's see, we have a total of 116 adult books. And of those 116 books, we have 84 are nonfiction, which means another 32 are fiction. So we know there's 116 total, but those 116 are split up between nonfiction and fiction. For the children books, we have 145 total. 45 are nonfiction, which means there's another 100 fiction books for children. Okay. So for part one, if you select one book at random, what's the probability it's a fiction book? Okay, well, let's see. How many total books are there? We have 116 adult, 145 children books. So collectively, we have 261 total books. Okay, so if one book is selected at random, let's see, what's the probability it's fiction? So fiction, that's down here. We have 32, so let's use, and that. Let's use green for part one. So we have 32 fictions in the from the adult books. We have 100 fiction from the children books. So it looks like we have, for part one, the probability of one book being selected and that book being fiction is, that's not right. 132 total fiction books out of the 261 total books. Now, let's see, round the answer to 3 decimal places. Okay, so we can put this into the calculator and, excuse me, round out the 3 places. For part 2, the probability the book is not a children's nonfiction book. So children nonfiction is the 45 here. So the 84, the 32, and the 100, all 3 of these groups are not in the children nonfiction category. So we have 84, 32, and 100. So that gives us 216 total books. So for part 2, again, we're using the addition rule because we have an or situation here. It doesn't say the word or, but the probability that the book is not a children's nonfiction book, that means it has to be either adult nonfiction or adult fiction or children's fiction. So we have 3 options there. So our probability would be the 216 out of the total 261. And then for part 3, let's see, what's the probability it's an adult book or a children's nonfiction book? So for adult, we have the 84 and the 32, or children's nonfiction. So that's the 45. So add up those 3 numbers, and that's not right. Black. Add up those 3 numbers, and we get let's see, 84, 16, 161 divided by 261. All right, so that about does it. In each one of these cases, we'll have to put this fraction into the calculator and round it to 3 decimal places. But other than that, this is about done for this problem.